Hi everyone. So last night I got another big milestone done for me in Season 27, the Raekor 150 clear. I want to give you a little intro talking about what I did with the build and how it actually came to a success, and then leave you with the rest of the run. So Raekor is actually a very strong pushing build in Season 26. In fact, it was the best pushing build, but in Season 27 with the season theme, it doesn't get all that much, and it's still very good, but obviously not the best with stuff like the Wave of Light Monk around. But I really wanted to do that 150, and I've been working on this for like a week now. I spent 1300 keys on this, and I'm actually quite glad that I did manage to finish it in my earlier attempts, because I did learn a lot and I've changed my setup to what I believe is a superior one. So the general idea of this build is you charge around to get stacks and full fury, and then you throw big rocks, and you have to be low HP while doing so, because you get more damage the lower HP you are. So there is the Relentless passive on the Barb that gives you extra damage reduction and resource cost reduction below 35% HP, and this is the main mechanic to play around. So you can never press your potion, and you have to try to balance your incoming damage and your healing in a way that you always stay in that low HP range. Other than that, the build is actually extremely squishy, and you make insanely large pulls to deal damage from the Battle Rage Bloodshed procs. So you really have to balance it, and you have to like play very carefully and learn about how you can survive, how you can dodge various affixes and attacks while charging around in the middle of like 50 different enemies. Usually most of the toughness issue is solved with the Ancient Powerful Defenders, because you have a pool of 100 monsters, and if you freeze like 5 to 10 of them at a time, you are almost invincible, and that works pretty well. But I had the issue that I actually managed to get to the boss multiple times with like power pylons and like 4 or 5 minutes, and I just couldn't survive the bosses at all, because there you don't have Ancient Powerful Defenders, you are generally quite squishy, and you just get blasted, especially when bosses hit you from full HP instead of below 35% HP, where you have this massive damage reduction. And sometimes it would just one-shot you. And after a while I had someone come into my chat, that was Rage, suggesting the stone gauntlets to me, and this is actually what I did. So I changed my Zay stone to Invigorating Gemstone for the CC immunity and slightly more healing, and I cubed the stone gauntlets, which is a quite unusual choice here. And even though I didn't have the Ancient Powerful Defenders anymore, I still got a decent chunk of extra toughness from the stone gauntlets, which didn't quite make up for it, but it was okay when I was careful, and it gave me more than double the toughness on the boss. So I was actually able to tank a hit or two and not die instantly. And like this, I was suddenly able to fight bosses and have a chance. But I did a few other tweaks, and I also learned to play the build much better than I was able to in the previous days as well. So I think either way it would have led to a success in the end. But it seems like my runs were way more consistent once I did that change and learned how to play around it. And this is the final result. On my last day of pushing, I only played for like 2 hours, and in those 2 hours I actually got many good attempts with like 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes for the bosses, and sometimes it just didn't work out because there was no pylon, or like it was not really enough for the boss. There is a lot of RNG in how much damage you deal to the boss with this build. It's generally a quite weak build on the boss, especially with this Whirlwind setup instead of the non-seasonal weapon throw setup, which is a bit better. And it comes down to shotgunning the boulders into the wall and hitting like with multiple rocks at the same time. You can do some really big chunks of damage. So it comes down to the positioning of the boss, the size of the boss, and also how many targets you spawn from the pylon when you click them with Nemesis Bracer. So this kind of stuff. So there's a huge range of damage basically. But sometimes you get those big chunks and then the boss just melts, especially with the power pylon. So this is what I want to share here for the intro of the run. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave you with the rest of it, and see you guys next time. Are we killing blues? We don't have any yellows here, right? What do we have? Oh, that's the minions, okay. Killing some minions, I guess. It's a pylon. It's a colony, okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna spawn on this floor, honestly. That colony. Or what? Just click it. I think we should check real quick. Okay, we can finish that. And we might get a power after all. Oh my god, this waller. Okay, he's gonna thin out his trash here, and then we corner this pack down at the end. This is a weird pull here at the end. They got like spread. Even though it already stopped whirling. As long as I have the yellow, we are okay. Okay, and it's Vile Sums, oh boy, okay. Holy. This can't really go wrong, I think. Unless I die very much on the power. I think the speed is too far away for me to use it. Let's ignore it. Many packs here, I kinda wanna leave them behind. Gonna get this trash and go down. It's like a lot of packs here, oof. What's this Yeti doing here? A bunch more. Rush is scary, I think, but you have a lot of time. You have 6 minutes. Don't have a checkpoint, but did we have a death? I think we didn't have a death either, right? That's kinda good. the time? Oh, he re-cleared it. Damn, that's really fast. Never mind. It was like 40 minutes something clear, but I guess we're gonna go for just a clear then. Do it in 11 minutes. It's 3 minutes of stricken now. I think I can go for 4. That will probably guarantee that on the bad pack we kill it in the power, even with 2 minutes left. And on a good pack I might just kill him in like 2 rotations or something. Let's see. There's a good spot here as well with the rock, I think. Yeah, I think I will play this like very safe with the pack. Hope it doesn't have like bad affixes and stuff. Wormhole, that's a bit scary. If Illus though. Oh boy, okay. That was a big move at the end, the last one, man. Boom! Yeah. Oh man, that was a juicy nuke. Well, I gotta say it was a very satisfying clear. Was this without death too? I think I got 4 jumps. Boom. Okay, time to move on. That's a quick and easy push, as all pushes are on the Barb.